Hi, Brian Katzung here. A lot of people get confused by this little and/or selector box when they're trying to choose the recipients for their Kartra broadcasts. So I thought I'd make this video to help explain what the choices are here and how to choose appropriately. So let's quickly go over what logic terms mean. The first one is not, and this is true when the condition is false and vice versa. It's pretty straightforward in Kartra because the not is combined directly with the condition in the dropdown. So for example, corresponding to the subscribe to list is a not subscribe to list option, and corresponding to has tag is a does not have tag option. So it's pretty clear that the not is immediately modifying the condition that's in the dropdown. So the other option, or another option, is or. And if you have a collection of conditions that are separated by or, that collection of conditions is true if any condition in the collection is satisfied. So if I have condition 1 or condition 2 or condition 3, that group of conditions is considered true if any of those conditions is satisfied. And then the last option is and. So if I have a collection of conditions separated by and, that collection collectively is only true if all of the conditions are satisfied. So if I have condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3, that group of conditions, or that collection of conditions, is only true if all of those conditions are true. So let's take that up to the next level and figure out what happens when you mix and or. So for example, if I have condition 1 and condition 2 or condition 3, how is that going to be evaluated? That's called order of evaluation. Conversely, if I change the order around, if I say condition 1 or condition 2 and condition 3, how does that get interpreted? So there are a couple of different ways that it could happen. There are no parentheses in Kartra, so you can't indicate to Kartra which way you want it to interpret it. Kartra has a fixed way of doing it. There are a couple of different possibilities. One would have been left to right. So for example, it could have evaluated condition 1 and condition 2 and then taken that result and then done an or condition 3. It could work from right to left, so it could do condition 3 or condition 2, take the result of that, and then take that result and with condition 1. Or it could do the ands first or the ors first, regardless of where they appear. Well, after testing, what Kartra actually does is it evaluates collections of conditions separated by or. It evaluates each of those results, and then it combines them with the remaining and conditions. So regardless of where the ors are, any sequence of conditions separated by or will be evaluated as a group, and then the result will be dropped in to the remaining and conditions, and it will be evaluated as and. So that's kind of hard to imagine just as words, so let's take an example. So let's consider a simple broadcast to subscribers who have not yet purchased a product. So you want to promote a product, but you only want to send it to subscribers because you don't want to spam people who aren't on your list. And there's no point in promoting a product to people that they've already purchased. Well, unless it's a consumable, but we're assuming that it's not a consumable. So there are two possible conditions we could choose, either and or. So let's look at the first one. Lead is subscribed to list, or lead has not purchased product. So with or, the collection of conditions is satisfied if any condition in the collection is satisfied. So a potential recipient would be included if either one of these two conditions is true, or both, but only one of them needs to be true. So according to that, a candidate lead would be a recipient if they're subscribed to the list, even if they've purchased the product already. This side would be false, because lead has not purchased product would be false if they have purchased the product, but that wouldn't be considered because the lead is subscribed to the list. So if we use or, then they'll get the email or the broadcast if they're on the list, whether or not they've purchased the product. Conversely, if they haven't purchased the product, they'll get the email whether or not they're still subscribed or not, because whether or not this is false doesn't matter if this side is true. So clearly or is not what we want. So let's look at and. So for a collection of conditions separated by and to be true, every condition must be true. Every condition must be satisfied. So will a lead get a mail if they're not subscribed to the list? No, because this side would be false, and any condition false in and means the whole collection is false. If they have purchased the product, then this side is false, and they won't be a valid recipient. So they will only get the email if it is true that both they are subscribed to the list. So we're not going to spam people who've unsubscribed, and they're only going to get it if they have not purchased the product. So we're not going to bother people who have already purchased the product. So and is the answer here. So let's move on to a slightly more complex example. Let's say we want to broadcast. We're going to promote, say we're going to promote a webinar to people who have purchased either or both of two Tripwire products. We don't care if they've got both, as long as they've got one or the other or both, but they haven't purchased an upgraded core product. Then we want to tell them if they're still a subscriber to our list about our webinar. So writing that as logic, we want to say the lead is subscribed to our list because we don't want to spam our unsubscribed leads, and they need to have purchased either the first Tripwire product or the second Tripwire product. It could be both, but we need at least one of those. And we only want to send to the leads who have not purchased that upgrade product. So will this work as we want it to? So lead is subscribed to list. That's our condition 1. And lead purchased Tripwire 1. That's our condition 2. Or lead has purchased Tripwire 2. That's our condition 3. And lead did not purchase core product. That's and in our condition 4. So we know from experimentation that I tested that it's going to evaluate condition 2 or condition 3, because any sequence of conditions separated by or is going to be evaluated and then replaced by the intermediate result of that calculation. So it's going to end up calculating that, and then we're going to have condition 1 and that result and condition 4. So if we just rewrite this in a kind of a visual order of evaluation, we have lead is subscribed to list, and then we have purchased either Tripwire 1 or Tripwire 2. So either or both of those can be true for this to be true, and then the lead did not purchase the core product. So we don't want to spam people who have unsubscribed for our list, and they need to have purchased either or both of the products, and we don't want to send it to them if they've already purchased that core product. I hope that helps you understand how to use and or.